Strategic planning fails to create a real growth strategy for most companies, and I'm going to tell you why. This is Growing Your Business with Jeffrey Scott. I recently spent time with Folkley Garden in Gainesville, Georgia, just north of Atlanta, and we led the company through a 1 to 2 day visioning process. Not strategic planning, but strategic visioning. And it really created a breakthrough. I was told that after people left the meeting, we got done much more than they ever thought possible. They learned so much more than they ever thought they would. Everybody had a new action they had to take responsibility for, and the company really included not just one level but 2 levels, and it made all the difference in terms of buy-in, understanding. That's how strategic visioning should be, and I'll tell you more about what makes it work in a minute. So strategic planning fails really in 5 ways. First off, you don't make the really tough decisions. You tend to make incremental decisions. You try to satisfy everybody, every stakeholder in the meeting, and instead of a strategy that has a pinpoint focus, you tend to have a little bit of everything, right? Also, if you have C and D players in your team, they can really sway the team in terms of the planning that happens. It can really hold the company back. Also, with strategic planning, there's not a big change the next day, whereas with strategic visioning, you often have a bigger shift. And lastly, execution falls down. Too many priorities are set, right? We're trying to satisfy everybody, trying to do everything, and not enough tough decisions are made that gets the company focused, and therefore implementation fails. Strategic visioning starts not by making incremental improvements, but by looking 5 or 10 years out. Where do we really want to be? When you can look that far out, you can really bring focus and priority to what you're trying to achieve. Also, strategic visioning looks financially and makes tough decisions on what's not working and what needs to be grown and what needs to maybe be chopped, right? Fix, stop, start, in order to hit these longer term goals. Strategic visioning makes bets on the future. Hey, we want to be here in 5 years, and really we have a stretch goal for 10 years. Here's the bets we're going to make on the future. It creates more buy-in for that calculated risk-taking. And lastly, strategic visioning connects the owner's goals, the owner's wishes, what they want to achieve long-term, with the company and what the company and the employees want to achieve. And so as an owner, when you're trying to really figure out where do I come out in all this? What's in it for me? Sometimes the owners get lost in the strategic planning. Strategic visioning thinks so far out that you can work backwards and make sure you're making a win-win plan for the company and the owner. And that's why you should use strategic visioning as you move forward with your team. Avoid the incremental planning, when in fact you should be doing at least once a year strategic visioning.